Hare Krishna. Hope you're doing well. Let's get started with this real analysis question, which is going to use L'Hopital rule for sure because you can see that the numerator and denominator in the limit that you have to find, they are in a 0 by 0 form. So this is a very standard thing over here. And obviously, knowing limits and differentiation is going to help understand the solution. Now, one way where you can get stuck is you may know that in situations like this, L'Hopital is the way to go, but you may, I don't know, try to experiment on the moment that this thing, if I do a plus minus of this extra term, I get some compact structure. Not exactly compact, but things are becoming more patternish. But if you are stuck and you are not sure, in this case maybe your motivation is to go the route of first principles of differentiation, but if you are not sure about how to proceed further, then instead of wasting time you can just go to the original way of L'Hopital itself. And I'm not saying that you are going to do this in exam, but it can happen that we try to think that there's a pattern or something, and maybe there is, but if you are unable to work that pattern, it's better to go the standard route to solve the sum. So we have a 0 by 0 form. We do the first round of differentiation carefully and again get a 0 by 0 form. The h is still there in the denominator. Then we do another round of differentiation, and this time the h vanishes from denominator and we don't have a 0 by 0 form. So we know that this is where we finally have to plug in the value of double derivative. Essentially, we are looking at something like this, right? Now, one intuitive thing that we can do when we make this final computation is doing computation only where necessary. So when you start with the first level of differentiation using chain rule or product rule, whatever it's called, I'm forgetting it, you get this. But you can understand this one term led to these two will lead to more computations, which in its totality is this. But the point here is you don't have to, in the moment of computation, go to this exact form because you know that the limit is going to 1. And cos gives sine and sine gives cos. There's a minus multiplied when cos gives sine, but essentially it's that. And cos pi by 2 is 0. You know that this thing will become cos in the next differentiation. So just ignore. And when you do chain rule over here, this thing when differentiated with cos as constant again becomes 0. So the only thing that matters is this part of the double derivative. And what I'm trying to do is to motivate you to have this, because this mindset of doing computation only where necessary helps in saving time. So you are not going to find the whole double derivative, you just find the necessary part and there you plug in the thing and you'll get the answer, which is this. So that's it. Hare Krishna. And going beyond the syllabus, last we were discussing about what all Arjun was starting to see. Now we'll get to the intensity of it. Arjun is seeing his attachment to all of his dear family members, because the other side is that. Now you may think, how does that connect to me, a student who's going to give an exam facing questions? But think about it. When a question seems difficult and you feel that you are going to be unable to answer that question, is it the question that is hurting you, or is it this intensity of hopes, aspirations, perhaps of your parents, mostly your parents, I am guessing, attached to it. You see not the question hurting you, but the failure to live up to maybe aspirations and expectations of your near and dear ones. They are in front of you. So, in that sense, it's a similar thing, right? You are facing your loved ones in a slightly different format, not the exact physical form, but you are facing them in front of you. How do you deal with that in the face of difficult questions? We'll see that in the next video, in the remaining videos. Take care. Hare Krishna.